Welcome back, Motorheads. This is Hot Rod Finds on Facebook Marketplace. First, got 1949 Mercury for $24,000. Well, we got us a pretty cool little 49 Ford here. I dig the traditional flames they put on this car here. I don't necessarily dig the colors it went with here. And I don't necessarily like the Continental kit on this particular car. Continental kit is one of those things, either you love them or you hate them. Me, I could go with or without. Just depends on the car and the way it actually flows. Now, what I think he's asking for this car, because I'm definitely not digging the interior, I think he's a little higher on that price, but overall I don't think necessarily this is a bad looking little car. Now, this might be right up somebody's alley, might absolutely love those colors. So what do you guys think? Leave it down in the comments. Up next, got a 1950 Mercury for $37,500. Now, me personally, I really dig the old 49 and 50 Mercury. I absolutely think they're a good looking car. They got great lines. Now, personally, I really dig these cars here chopped. One of the only few cars I actually like the brick being chopped on it. But I can appreciate them when they're not chopped. This car here, he claims this car is uncut. No, I don't know what he's meaning by uncut other than the roof. I'm assuming that's what he's going with there. But looking past that, the interior of this car, I'm absolutely digging the hell out of the interior on this car. I don't necessarily like the shade, but I'm loving the stitch. I love what they've done inside this car. Do I think $37,500 is high? I feel it's high, but personally, these cars really retain their value. So really, it's up to the buyer here. But what do you guys think? Leave it in the comments. Next, got a 1951 Mercury for $55,000. Like I said, looking at these old Mercuries, they really look very cool chopped. Like I said, this is one of the cars I actually dig being chopped. But looking at the previous vehicle, you know, it didn't look bad unchopped as well. But $55,000 for what you're getting on this one right here, I personally think that's completely swinging for the fences here. Now, but maybe it's just me, but I just don't see a wow factor that makes this car worth $55,000. But what do you guys think? Leave it in the comments. Next, got a 1950 Ford for $14,900. If you're enjoying today's Hot Rod Find video, make sure you smash that like button. This is actually a pretty good looking little Ford here. I'm kind of digging the old scallop paint job on it here. Not so much into the louver hood. I think that should have went back to the 90s and kind of stayed back there. I know it was a little poor then too, but personally, I'm just not into that. But overall, I don't think this car looks too bad, and it actually might be pretty right on the money. I would try to get it a little cheaper if I was to go purchase this car. But what do you guys think of that price tag? And what do you think of this little 1950 Ford here? Leave it down in the comments. Up next, got a 1957 Lincoln for $17,000. I absolutely digging this old Lincoln here. I love the body on this car. I love what they've done. I absolutely love the color, but you guys know that I'm a sucker for them colors together. I think that just looks period correct to me. I just absolutely dig it. I don't know why. But anyway, $17,000. I think they are definitely swinging for the fences because this car here definitely has some issues, as we can see there from the pictures. And I think there's probably going to be a lot of mud in this car. I damn sure don't think I would go $17,000. But what do you guys think, and what do you think of that price tag? Next, got a 1940 Chevrolet for $25,000. Listen, folks, if you're a seller, you're trying to sell your car, please put some information about your vehicle. Now, moving on, this 1940 Chevrolet here is actually a good looking car. I wish we knew some more information about it. I think what he's asking for, it could be a fairer-ish price with the crazy market we got going on. Overall, I really don't think this car is a bad-looking car. I'm kind of digging the color scheme, and even though I don't usually like that color with black, but, you know, overall, I think the interior of this car still needs some love from what we're seeing here in the pictures. I think this car maybe is a solid $17,000, $18,000, and that's just because of today's market. But that's just me personally. Curious to hear your guys' thoughts on the old 40 Chevrolet here. Make sure you leave it down in the comments. Next, got a 1938 Chrysler for $22,000. In case you haven't heard, we do have some merch available. If you guys are interested, stop by our store. This is a good looking car. I'm not going to front. I absolutely dig the lines on this car here. Something about them, they're just sleek. I mean, any of the late 30s, early 40s cars, even some of the earlier 30s cars, they just had the right proportions in my personal feelings on these cars. Got it listed for $22,000. I'm going to leave it to you guys to decide. Is this car worth $22,000? Be sure to leave it down in the comments. Up next, got a 1949 Chevrolet for $40,000. Well, I'm not going to lie here. I'm really digging this 49 Chevrolet here. Even that very extreme chop they've done on this car. Now, there's some things I would have done differently. I think I would have left a rear window in that car after the chop. I think it would just made it look a little bit more elegant with the back window back there. Even though it would have been useless, you couldn't see out of it. That's usually what happens. But overall, I think this is a pretty sleek, nice car, but not for 40 grand. Next, got a 1950 Chevrolet for $39,900. Got us another great looking Chevrolet here. Now, I can't help myself. I'm a little biased on these here. I just love the lines on these early 50 Chevrolets. I can't help it. They're sleek. And this is probably one of my favorite cars on the list today. This here and the Chevrolet Prior. This is what the other car should have looked like before the extreme chop. But overall, this is a great looking car as well. I think that $39,000 price tag, even though I really am partial to these cars, I think he is out of his mind on this price on this particular car. It's a very nice, sleek car, but I just don't think it's $39,000 cool kind of car. But what do you guys think of this one? Leave it down in the comments. Next, got a 1947 Buick for $55,500. Don't forget to come back and join us for our What Do You Have Car Find series on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Well, this one here is definitely very, very customized. I'm not necessarily digging everything they've done, but I could absolutely 100% appreciate all the fabrication that was done to this car. The fabricator, the painter, they did an excellent job on the car. Like I said, personally, I don't dig that style of headlights at all. I think that should not even belong on this style of car, but I understand why a lot of people did it, to make it different. Now, the colors themselves, I could kind of take them or leave them. I don't mind the white interior. I think this car is pretty close to being a little over the top. I think it might be a little overbuilt. This is a prime example of when you went too far and you limited your audience of people who might be potentially interested in buying your car. Sometimes less is more. However, not badly done. I believe this is what the car used to look like before they started. Well, that's all I got for you today. If you liked today's video, make sure you smash that like button, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next one.